Okay, due to a bit of a technical difficulty, we're going to have a part 2 this week, but 2 is better than none, right? I think so, it's part of it. So the question we asked was, why was it such a big thing, a dayan who's done a din emes, we said it becomes a shutuf in Ma'aseh Bereishis. What's such a great thing that he does, that he becomes a shutuf in Ma'aseh Bereishis, right? The reason we said, remember we brought down the pasuk also, Hamaskilim Yazhiru Kizoyer Harakia. So the reason for all of this, Dr. Nesivos Shalom, is that the din that a dayan who rules the absolute truth, right? He does one that his mind and his heart, everything is exactly in the emes. He's doing exactly the tachlis of why HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, like we said. We said, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu make himself a place on this world? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted that in this world of sheker, there should be a place of absolute truth. That was the whole tachlis of HaKadosh Baruch Hu making himself a place in this world. So when a dayan is done din emes, and his heart and his mind all carries through a din of total truth, you're doing exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. You are creating an absolute, total place of emes in this world. And that's why the pasuk of Hamaskilim, those Talmidei Chachamim, those Dayanim that understand that this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, those Dayanim are the ones that are called Maskilim. They become also a shutuf in Ma'aseh Bereishis. And that's something to always keep in mind, something about the absolute truth. Now that we're going through Chodesh Elul, brought down, Nesivos Shalom, brought down in many Svarim, that a lot of doing tshuva is a person being truthful with themselves. Because if a person is not absolutely truthful with themselves, you can do tshuva, but you fool yourself to think, I didn't really do it this way, I really did accomplish, I really wanted to, I should have, I was going to, and everything. But if you're truthful with yourself, that's a very, very important midah for Chodesh Elul. And Titan Emes L'Yaakov, the Nesivos Shalom tells us, one of the ways to come to absolute emes, for a person to be truthful with themselves at any time, not only during Chodesh Elul and the Yom Noraim, at any time, is Titan Emes L'Yaakov, is emes through the Koyach HaTorah. That's what Yaakov Avinu stands for. Titan Emes L'Yaakov is the Torah. Just want to end off with a very interesting thing. Nesivos Shalom brings actually an eye-opening story that will make you understand what exactly this midah of emes is. He says, 2 Balei Dinim came to a Rav, and the Rav paskin, after the Din Torah, he paskin that one of them, the one who's chayiv, he has to pay money to the other one. So the person who was taka chayiv after the Din Torah, he comes over to the Rav and he says, listen, I believe in a psak of Bezdin. I believe that it's al-pi derech ha-Torah, and it's through the Torah, and I believe in the psak, and avada I'm going to pay. He says, but how do I reconcile this fact that I have to pay with the fact that I know inside that this guy was totally lying? It's not true. The whole thing, there was no such thing. It happened to be, maybe he presented his facts well to the Rav and this and that, and through the Din Torah, whatever they said that I have to pay. But I know that. How do I reconcile that? How is this emes? I have to pay, but how is the emes? How does the facts, right? How does he know that this entire thing is true? So the Rav says, I want to tell you something. He says that you should know that before you and this other Baal Din were born, you both existed in a different life. You're both Gilgulim of somebody else. And you owe this person money in another lifetime. However you understand Gilgulim, we're not going to get into that right now. But you owed money to this person in another lifetime. You were both sent down to this world that you should be able to pay this person back. That's what you had to do. So he said, you think in Din Torah it made sense. But in the facts of life, how did that make sense? In the real world, how did that make sense? He says, now you see how it makes sense. That the din of the Torah And the din, that's taka emes. Sometimes, the din of the Torah and the din of the Metzias are not steers to each other. And Zot and Nesivos Shalom is bringing out that sometimes we don't understand. We don't understand how it's possible that sometimes there'll be a psak, sometimes things happen that we're sure it's not emes. We think we know everything. But the bottom line is that the din of the Torah is emes. Somehow, in a way that we don't understand, the Metzias do jive with the Torah. And that's the inyan of emes, and something that we have to think about, like we said, especially now, during Chodesh Elul, when we try at least a little bit to be more truthful with others, more truthful with ourselves, and in order to come to Yom Adin, the Rebbeinu Shalom has to see that we're being honest. Tzedek tirdoif, kushta tehei rodiv. Not just the truth, not just the facts to be truth, but the double truth. Through and through, we should become people of truth. And this should be a schus for us in the upcoming Chodesh Elul. We should be zeicha to do a right tshuva, and should be a schus for us for the Yemei Adin that are coming up in a few weeks.